This is the project I have been waiting to share with you. I'm about to show you how I took this simple space, added in built-in storage and shelves, and redid all the brick for under $500. The listing photos were really beautiful, and the bright lights hide a lot of flaws. But even if you zoom in on this picture, you can see the paint is peeling off of the brick hearth. Once we got here, the first thing we did is a family member close by gave us these bookcases, which was great because I knew I wanted to flank that fireplace with some storage just to give it a more built-in look. But upon closer inspection, this little fireplace insert was very small for the opening. And when you really look, it's broken. And when we tried to use it, it made a lot of noise, it kicked up a lot of smoke, and it really wasn't putting out any heat at all. So we decided to take that out, and it also gave us a good opportunity to really clean that fireplace. This was the idea that I had from the very beginning. I love the look of the built-ins around the fireplace. This one was my favorite with the brick. But our brick was already painted, so I was going to have to get creative with how to remedy that. We got lucky on Facebook Marketplace and found this fireplace mantle that was already pre-assembled, but I knew I could take the fireplace unit out and put it into ours, giving me a second project. So even though we spent $100 on this, I'm spending it as $50 for the fireplace and $50 for the piece of furniture, which I think I'd already told you I turned into a bench at the end of our bed for all of our shoes. Now, when we bought this, we had no idea if it was going to fit. Luckily, the depth, height, and width was perfect, and also it was 120 volts, which was something we didn't know until we brought it home. So one of the lucky things is that we were able to take this insert and just put it in. Now, I had looked at buying inserts, and they are not cheap. So this Facebook find was a huge win for my budget. I was hoping to sand the paint off of this brick fireplace so that it would look more aged, and then I could kind of balance it out on any of the spots that were too new if I exposed too much of the brick. This wasn't working. We tried sandpaper, we tried wire brushes, we tried scraping it off. Short of applying some sort of a chemical to get the paint to come off, which there was no way I was going to do, the only other thing that we could do was paint over it again. Now, I did try that. I tried scraping it, and this was about an hour just to do this little portion of the hearth, and I hated the solid red brick. And painting it was fine too, but I really didn't want just solid white brick. I wanted something that had a little bit more warmth and depth to it. But since I was willing to paint it, I went and got a color match of the existing brick that we had, and a tiny little can only cost me about $5. I got to work painting just the face of the brick. And I know this looks scary. Sometimes you've just got to trust the process. I applied red paint over all of the bricks, and I did not worry about how solid the coverage was because, again, I wanted that aged old brick look anyway. So I wasn't worried about it being too perfect of a paint job. Once it looked super scary, I was ready for what the real technique was going to be. I tried using something called a German schmear. German schmear is what the old castles in Germany look like, where the bricks are on there and they have a mortar applied over it and then they wipe it off. It's a way to give the aged look on bricks without actually having to wait or sandblast. So I wasn't going to play with mortar. The expense, the smell, trying to get it to stay up because of the weight were things that I wasn't going to deal with. But I have a lot of white paint and I have a lot of baking soda. So I mixed those two things together like a thick chalk paint, and I took my spackle brush and I started smearing it all over the face of the brick. I had a sponge in my hand and would just mute it out and spread it a little bit more evenly. And you guys, I cannot tell you how happy I was with how this was turning in. Now, I did want a little bit more depth than just the white and the red brick, so I did get a little bit of a peach color that I played with and a little bit of a gray color, and where I felt it looked like it was just too one-dimensional, I just tapped in a little bit more. And you know how crafting is, where we just feel like it needs a little zhuzhing somewhere? That was what I did with this fireplace, is just keep integrating a little bit of color, a little more warmth, a little less warmth, a white patch, because that's what aged brick would look like. You have no control over how the weather's going to treat it. Once I had the fireplace brick done, my husband came in, and the way that the fireplace was, the cord was coming out on the left side, which meant that we would have to have an extension cord coming all the way back around to go to the plug, and I did not want that look. So thankfully, he has some good electronic handiwork in his back pocket, because once again, if I had had to hire an electrician, that would have blown my budget. If you've been following me for a little bit, you know when we first moved into the house, I got these cabinets from IKEA, and I used them in our laundry room to kind of create a butler's pantry. There was one that we didn't use, and thankfully we bought these when they were kind of on clearance. I think we got them for $130 or $140 a piece. We needed 2 more to put around the fireplace. When we bought these, they were about $170 a piece. They've gone up again, are now $199, but I love these cabinets. So I installed the 2 that we purchased, plus the one that I had left over around the fireplace. I would love to have a 4th one on the left, but we have a front door there. So because of that, for right now, I have to leave that access open, but someday we might move that front door and there is the perfect amount of space to put a 4th one in that corner. So that might be another project. Now, even though the fireplace fit in so nicely, I wanted to beef it up just a little bit. So I got a door trim kit from Home Depot. It was actually less expensive to buy the kit than it was to buy individual pieces of trim. It was about $30 for this kit, and it looked absolutely perfect for what I wanted around here. This was as simple as just measuring the pieces out, using some liquid nails and adhering it to my fireplace. I can always pop it off later if I change my mind, but I think this gave a very finished look to my fireplace. As you can see, these bookcases, there's a line where they stop, and I wanted them to continue up to the ceiling. So I took some basic pine plywood and I built a 3-sided cabinet. So there were the 2 sides and the back extended longer, but I did this so that when the sides would rest on the sides of the bookcases, but the back would go back just a tiny bit farther and would recess behind the bookcase, so I never had to worry about those shifting or falling over. And if I ever change my mind, which if you know me at all, you know I'm going to change my mind eventually, I can just take them right back off and nothing is damaged. I did not want to use any screws or nails on these bookcases because I am prone to changing my mind. Getting those to the ceiling made a huge difference in my opinion. Now, do you see this little patch job over on the left there? Even looking back at the listing pictures, there's this weird vent, and you can see a big circle behind it. It was about a 12-inch in diameter circle, and we thought it must go to a vent or an intake or a speaker. No, they cut a giant hole in the wall because they wanted a light on the other side of the wall, and I guess that was the easiest way to get access to the wires. Instead of putting the piece they cut out back inside and patching it, they threw it away and put this giant cover over it. So I patched that wall up, and I'm very glad because we never understood what that vent was for anyway. Now remember, I wanted this to look really built in. So to finish off that top, we went and got some crown molding, and I bought the least amount possible because that was not cheap. Again, in the big scheme of things, it wasn't that expensive. I think I got 2 or 3 boards and it was about $40, $45. But adding the crown was very difficult. And I don't have a lot of footage of this because I'm a lady and you won't want to see me cussing the way I was. But we finally did get the crown molding all the way up. So having that done meant that it looked great from the front. However, if you went right up to the bookcase, we realized all of those inconsistencies in our ceiling left gaps in several places, and I didn't want that showing. So I went around finding every little piece of trim that I could find, and with caulk just kept filling in every little gap I could find. And that included around the fireplace, because even the fireplace The bricks weren't exactly square. They had a little bit of a wavy to them. So when I put those very, very up and down straight bookcases against it, you could see there were little gaps in places where it pressed tighter. So if you do a project like this, don't be afraid of filling it in with trim pieces and use caulk to get those little sins covered up because it looks great now. So here's the before, and I always hated how that front door just kind of stuck out in the corner. Here's the after. We did paint that door, and no longer having that vent on the wall also makes it look so much better. I think the technique worked pretty well to match this, and I love all the storage that I have in the lower cabinets and the shelves for decorating, which was so much fun at Christmas time. By adding these cabinets along the fireplace, it now makes this feel like a nice, wide, square room. And I love how your eye is drawn all the way up. It gives me so many spaces to put out decor pieces and change things up, but I also love all of that storage underneath. The Hauga cabinets, and forgive me if that's not how you pronounce it, were $170 each, so $340. The trim that went around the actual fireplace was $30. The actual fireplace, I'm splitting the cost of that, so $50 for the fireplace, $50 for our bench in the bedroom. Paint was only $5. Crown molding was about $45, bringing the total to $470. So if you've ever considered doing a project like this, the hardest thing was figuring out how I was going to get the paint off of that fireplace. Once I just abandoned the idea of taking the paint off and I covered it with the red paint and then did the smear, that was the fastest part of this project. Honestly, me going over and really looking at it and finding another gap and going over and filling it was probably a day to a day and a half because I would just sit on the couch and look and wait to see where my eye was drawn, and then I would go fix that little thing. And then I would sit back again and look and go, oh, there's another thing to go fix. But this project took me 2 days and then probably another day just painting, caulking, and making sure it really looked as finished and high quality as possible. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is it worth the almost $500 to do this? Is this project you think you would tackle in your home? Or are you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that to the brick? I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this, but my husband and I are really happy with it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was something that you enjoyed watching and maybe gave you some inspiration to try tackling a renovation in your home. In the meantime, I will see you guys in just a few days with my next project. Bye.